Welcome to Washington East to West Sports. This is episode 152. I am Matt Beatty, joined alongside as usual by Sean Beatty, Kevin Ardolph. If you want to get involved in the show, go ahead and Blue Sky. I'm a Master B. Sean is Nasty Billy 22. Kevin is Emerald Bowler on X. Sean is Nasty Billy 22. Kevin is SEAC2 Believe. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Like our videos. Tell us what you think of the topics we talk about in the comments below. Boys, we're going to talk some Seahawks. We're going to talk some Mariners on this short podcast, and we're going to start with the Seattle Seahawks. There's been some news. We're not going to talk free agents because we talked about that before the free agency period. We'll get back to that when we have a little bit more time, but we'll do some quick news bites here. So, first thing, probably the biggest news is the Seahawks agreed to an extension with Jackson Smith and Jigba. It is a 4-year, $168 million extension, makes him the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history, and it includes 120 million guaranteed, a wide receiver record. Sean, what did you think of Moneybags and Jigba?
Um, it's one of those where if you're in a certain class of players, you get the highest AAV, and he's definitely in the class. I'll say this might be controversial. He's not the best receiver in the NFL, but he's definitely in the class. So I'm not upset that he got his money, for sure. Because again, I think he's going to have the title for only a little bit until someone else who keeps getting in trouble is going to break this what he just signed. So it's only going to be a temporary thing. But no, you got to pay your guys, and that's why a lot of people wanted free agent signings and everything like that. And we've talked about on this podcast. You're going to sign him and probably spoon to the top, one of the top cornerback deals, if not the top. So you're going to have to free up the money that you have. Or like, we have all this money. I'm like, you don't have all that money. It's going to some guys, and you want to pay those guys. So it's still $32 million as it stands right now to spend for this next year. So they're in a great shape. They're what, eighth in the league with most cap. Totally fine. And so I think they're in a great position. Um, yeah, I think it's you're going to pay him. It was going to be probably the highest AAV on record, and there's obviously some things that go along with like incentives and things and what you're actually going to get and all that stuff. But barring all that, I'm looking at it as now his base salary and what it's going to be, and there's a void year tacked on. But honestly, the highest it ever gets to is 37 a year, just base salary and like signing bonuses and prorated bonuses and roster bonuses. It looks pretty reasonable. Like there's nothing that like gets absolutely astronomical and absurd. So I think, and he's only 24, so this deal only goes till age 30. So he should be in his literal prime throughout this entire run of it. And then depending on how he ages is how you handle it going forward. So I think it's like perfect. It doesn't extend because we've seen like guys like especially wide receivers like Julio Jones is toast at 33. And that just happens to receivers, like especially in this day and age. Like some guys are just done, like at a certain age. Like it's harder to age at wide receiver, especially in a game with so much speed than it is at quarterback. Because quarterback's, less mobile. Tom Brady can play till he's 40, and Rodgers, that type of thing. But like in a game, especially in a position built on speed, speed goes first. And you don't get it anymore. Your game's based on it. It's hard. So they I think this is pretty much the perfect length, and it was going to be always be these AAV. So no complaints. Pretty straightforward what I thought it was going to be. So yeah,
Kevin, what did you think of the extension?
It's pretty much what we all expected. Like, uh, we knew he was probably going to get the top money, uh, and we knew it was coming, and it's something that we knew that we needed to do. So yeah, it just locks down a really damn good wide receiver for the next 4 years, um, to where you have a reliable target, and hopefully he can come close to what he did last season. Essentially, just try to be somewhat consistent. I'm not expecting those numbers every year, of course, but like if you could be
yeah. He
more.
did, Kevin's point's correct. He does have to has to show up at the end because he kind of
Yeah,
died at the end of the year, and so you're gonna pay the most money in the league. You gotta kind of show up every week now.
you essentially have to be a top five receiver in the league.
Yeah.
So
It also is on the Seahawks also too. There's a give and take. Yeah, you've got to put up your numbers, but at a certain point too, the Seahawks have to make a more viable second option
yeah,
as well too. You have to help them out there a little bit too.
that's true.
But yeah,
What do you
but
mean they
you're
matched the offer for Jake Bobo? Like,
we'll
what are you
get to
talking
that in
about?
a second. But
I
yes,
don't know.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all expected this. the man had an incredible season and deserved to get paid, rightfully so. Um, it's going to be interesting because uh, their exponential growth is just not sustainable. So I'm wondering what the plateau is for some of these deals. I don't know when we hit it or how much it is, but
Well, his
I'm
AAV is like 1.5 million more than the previous, so it's not like it's like crazy.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, true, true. I
and
just think
that's the growth consistent with the salary cap going up.
yeah,
So
yeah.
honestly, it'll just keep doing this forever.
No,
Yeah,
no, no. That's not how that works. But
why not?
um, why? Because eventually there's going to be a point where money's not going to be there all the time. It's not going to be sustainable.
It's if the percentage doesn't change, it doesn't matter the dollar amount. The percentage of the cap is what matters.
Whatever. It's more of an economics argument than anything. But anyway, it's like offensive player of the year, absolutely deserved. Um, and I'm happy he got paid because that's a lot of money. That's life-changing money. So happy for him. Happy he's in Seattle for a long time. Happy the jerseys that people have bought of him since he got drafted are going to be lasting till at least 2030. So it's uh it's great all around. And we have our number one target for the next 4 to 5 years. So that's awesome. And looking at some of the other receivers that are paid equally to him, I think he's definitely in the class, like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, DK Metcalf, Garrett Wilson. Sean says he's not the best. I think it's kind of really, really fluid. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
there's not
He's
yeah,
in the category. He's in the
there's never
category.
gonna be
There's a group of receivers, five or six, whatever you want to call it, and I would say probably I'd rather have like one or two maybe guys in the league, but I'm saying like it's arbitrary. You know what I mean? It's like here, there. It's personal preference at that point. There's like six guys,
yeah.
and you're splitting hairs between the six. Like it's just what it is. I personally probably have like the physicality of Chase is my number one, but like again, like if you told me I had JSN, I'm like, oh boohoo, I got like the second best or third best receiver. I don't care. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like on a Madden, you're talking 99 to 98. Who cares? Like like you're splitting hairs. Who cares? Like
Yeah. So it's, rightfully deserved and glad to see him in a Seahawks uniform for a long time. Once his career's over, we'll see where he sits in terms of Seahawks wide receivers, but if he keeps playing the way that he's been playing his first few years, he could go down as one of the best, if not the best Seahawks receivers of all time. So, really looking forward to seeing him play for the Seahawks for the next several years. So, let's talk a little bit about Sean's favorite person, which is Jake Bobo. The Jaguars offered him a contract. Let me pull up the story here. 5.5 million, 4.5 guaranteed. It can be worth up to 7 if incentives are met. Kevin, what do you think of Jake Bobo returning to the Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind him returning because uh, he's a good number 4. Um, and he's good on special teams, and he's technically statistically he was the best blocking wide receiver in the NFL last year. Um, but for the money that we gave him, I don't know. He's just not on the field enough to give that kind of money, if that makes sense. Uh, I would have liked to see something a little bit lower, but I think since they had the extra money in the fourth round to give it, they were just like, we want to reward our dudes. Hopefully, it doesn't come back to bite him in the butt. Um, yeah, especially I don't know if they're planning to give him more opportunity on the field. I mean, he has had some clutch plays as a wide receiver, but he's just you don't see a whole lot of it. Like there's nothing like special that comes off essentially, you know. So all in all, am I a fan of him coming back? Sure, but for the money that we gave him, yeah. So,
Sean, what do you think?
I agree with Kevin. I mean, he's 28, like he's 4 years older than JSN, which is like crazy. He's a fine player. Kevin's right though. He's probably getting paid too much for what he does, but at the end of the day, your team's not going to fold over $2 million. You know what I mean? Like it's not like the worst thing in the world because like it is relatively a small amount. Um, but yeah, I would have liked maybe a little bit less or the money to go elsewhere. But if at the end of the day, his first year, like let's put it this way, his first year's cap hit is $2.3 million. That's fine. His second is 3.1, and but you could cut him and save basically $1 million of it. So if for some reason it's just awful and you have to save it, you could cut Jake Bobo and save $1 million against this deal of the what is it, six almost that you of it. So it's you're not gonna fold over something like this. Again, a little bit too rich for my blood, but if you really wanted him back and you can make these moves and have some depth, and again, this draft class I think has like fine wide receivers, but nothing that like moves my needle like dramatically. And especially in the first round, I want trenches guys in the first round rather than a wide receiver for us because I don't think there's any real needle movers at wide receiver. So having a guy who at least knows the system, knows comfortable, like Kevin said, he had a chance to drop and screw up a big play for us, and he did not. He caught the ball when we needed him to catch that touchdown. He's a good blocker. He's a good special teams player. So in a draft class where I don't think you're going to find that wide receiver. And besides, we only have like 4 picks, so you can't be really using one on a wide receiver when you're like, okay, we could just have Jake Bobo for a year, and if we have to cut him next year and draft wide receiver, we can do that. And this deal allows you to do that. So it fine. I guess the needle doesn't move because it's like right in the middle. It's fine. So and get some more Bobo. Although you're right, Kevin, you're really paying your wide receiver for $3.5 million a year. Like I'm just like, I'd rather not. I mean, he's a great blocker, but like I don't need my fourth wide receiver out there blocking. Rather, I don't want my guys out there catching passes. So, but
Right.
yeah, but again, it's fine. It's right in the middle
Plus, it also kind of like shows your hand a little bit too, like
because
because
they also yeah they talk about Horton being more hurt than even he's like not still doing stuff. So it's
yeah.
like, man, is he going to really be your four? Like, there's no
And honestly too, like if he's not really involved in the passing game, like when you see him on the field, it just tells the defense that you're going to run it,
pretty much, yeah,
or you're going
yeah.
to do another bubble screen and he's just there to block.
The reverse Jimmy Graham,
Yeah,
like when he's on the
essentially.
field, you're going to pass
Yeah,
it. Yeah, so
yeah, exactly. So it's actually kind of unless he actually becomes a somewhat involved piece in the offense and starts getting more to where he's like your third guy who's going to get like, I'm not saying he has to go crazy, but like he's your third that gets you like 500 yards and like 4 touchdowns, like what an average tight end would do. Then like he just slips,
I
you know, yeah.
I think it shows more of like because they have Cup, JSN, and Shaheed, who are all smaller receivers. And Horton was supposed to be that guy, but I think it says more about his health. Like Bubba's the big body guy now because it's like you had to kind of have somebody because you would have no height in that basket in that they want
Other
you
than
want
the tight
NBA.
ends, but
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying. Like you have tight ends, obviously, they could do that, but like if you're showing your hand and your two pass catchers are your tight ends as well, which you want them to be decent pass catchers, but you got to have some size with the wide receiver.
Mhm.
And I think it was more of like, yeah, I probably don't want to do this, but like, who else? We can't get anybody in the draft that's going to bring this size, and we can't rely on Horton, so they're kind of like we kind of have to match the offer for Jake Bobo at this point.
And not including Horton just because of him being injured. He's technically your sixth best pass catcher.
Yeah,
Like with your two tight ends and Arroyo and Barner, and then Cup, Shaheed, and JSN, like, are you really going to like get like have him on the field for like a third of your snaps over those five guys? Like, not really. No.
Depending on how Arroyo grows as a blocker, if he takes steps, like I
It's
really just
really
want
going to
two tight
depend
end
on like
sets.
what Arroyo
Yeah,
does. Yeah.
I want a bunch of two tight end sets yet because I love AJ Barner,
But
especially
instead of giving them the money, I'd rather see what Arroyo has because I think he just has the better athletic gifts and upside.
Well, I
So,
don't think this precludes him from doing that. I think at
yeah.
this point, if Arroyo's healthy, be like, I don't care. We're paying Jake Bobo, play
Yeah.
Arroyo because he's more our future. I think so.
Yeah. I think
If
you
he
just
has
have to
next year
get
and
it
you
for
save a
special.
million, then you cut him. Yeah, and that's it. And then you draft somebody in the later rounds. But yeah,
Yeah, I
I
see this. I mean, I work in insurance. I see this as insurance. And insurance generally costs more than it really should. So, that's how I kind of view this. And it tells me that I think I do agree with Sean. It seems like this would mean to me that they don't really see a wide receiver in this draft class that they want to take, and that they're fine with that they have. Um, Horton, who knows, man? Who knows? It could mean that he's more hurt than we know. hard to
Well,
say.
well, Mike
Hard to
Mike
say. I
already
have no
said that.
idea.
Mike already said that. He said he's not playing yet. He hurt himself just last year, so and he didn't give a timetable return when the whole Charbonnet thing when he did. So I think to what you were Kevin was saying, like if you knew Orton was going to play this year or do something, I would let him walk because, like Kevin said, he's your fourth receiver slash fifth. I don't really want to pay that guy, and if I'm just going to give like we've talked about this in the past in the pod, like that spot should go to somebody who's young and maybe you could prove themselves. I don't need to see a Jake Bobo out there if you have some guy that you want to give that spot to. But that just says like I don't think they think Horton's ready to even get that spot right now because I don't think his health like he had a significant injury because I think they would just let it roll with Horton there. Be like if he's good, he's good. If not, he's the fourth receiver.
I
Who
mean, it
cares?
could be a
Like
situation where maybe Horton comes back mid-season and takes the job from Bobo, and then
maybe,
they
yeah,
cut Bobo. Like
and then they
there are a
cut
lot
Bobo.
of
But like,
different things
but I think
that
that's what
could
it
be at
is. But
play
like,
here. But the
yeah,
fact that they matched the offer for the Jaguars means they want him because he knows the system. And like you said, he didn't do a lot, but that 17-yard catch in the NFC Championship game was huge. So, clutching a big moment, certainly earned this money. Not a lot, but that catch alone probably earned him this money. I don't see any other reason.
if you
Uh,
make those two catches, I will give you $2 million a year as a GM. If
I,
you come up big in that Rams game, like I'll write you a check for $2 million. That's what they did. There
yeah,
you go.
I mean, you got him to a ring. Like he
Yep.
wants to get paid too, so I don't hate it.
We,
But
we
it's
can't
only
say
two
if
years,
he
so it's not
we
going to be
can't
that long,
we can't say for sure if he's not there. Someone else doesn't make that catch, but we know Jake Bobo came up clutch two times on third down and the goal line, and he caught those balls.
Yeah.
So
And
oh,
I'm
if
with you
that's what it
guys.
takes, and next year I have to write him a $2 million check, then write him a $2 million check because we got a ring. So
Because he's like at this moment the sixth pass catching option behind Smith and Jigba, Rashid Shaheed, Cooper Kupp, Junior Arroyo, and AJ Barner. So I'm really hoping that Junior Arroyo is the dude, and I think they're going to line him up more outside. He just didn't
I,
really be healthy this
I
year.
think you say he's the dude. I think Barner already is the dude. I
I
think
think
they just need to
Barner,
get Barner more
I think they
involved.
could both be dudes, but
Yeah,
obviously not like they're co-dudes. I don't know how to explain it. They're
I
not
thought
going
they
to be
were
like
behind the
they're not
scenes.
going to be like 500 yards and four touchdowns like
yeah.
Kevin said. But if you split them those two apart and they have 250 and two each,
But what I'm
I
saying
don't
is
know.
AJ Barner is like I think he's a complete tight end. I think they found a complete tight end. He can catch everything, doesn't drop anything. Maybe he's not the best route runner, but he can work on that. But he's an amazing, amazing blocker. Like he is just all around a great tight end. And I think anything you get out of Arroyo. I mean, obviously you hope he's a great pass catcher, but I think anything you get out of Arroyo is a bonus because you already have AJ Barner is a legit tight end one in the NFL. He is really underrated in this team because JSN got all the hype, and rightfully so. But like Barner is really good. Like film nerds and stat nerds love AJ Barner, like what he does, play in and play out. That dude's an animal.
And I don't think we've seen the true potential of Roy. I think as
Yeah,
health pending, of course, he can be a dude if they give him if he gets an opportunity. That is. So, we'll see how this shakes out. But man made a couple catches, cashes in. Can't fault the man for sure. Let's talk one more Seahawks topic. And coming off of a Super Bowl season, everybody wants to see them on TV, obviously. So HBO will be featuring the Seahawks in the season of Hard Knocks in August. Patriots are going to be the following summer. Uh,
wait. There's one in season and preseason. I'm Seahawks preseason and the
see,
Patriots in season.
they are no. Patriots are in the summer of 27. It doesn't look like there is an in-season one announced currently. These are just the two preseason ones that they've talked about.
So Seahawks and then Patriots for preseasons.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So, I usually watch at least the first couple episodes of Hard Knocks because once August rolls around, I'm all ready for football and fantasy draft and all that stuff. So I'm really excited for this because it's going to be interesting to see inside the Seahawks locker room, behind the scenes sort of thing. And we've seen that over the years with some Seahawks teams, but coming off of a Super Bowl, we haven't really seen the access that HBO and Hard Knocks usually gets. So I'm going to be very curious to see. They usually feature the quarterback. So Sam Darnold, I'm sure, will get his feature in the first episode. He just got married. Congrats, Sam. And so I'm curious to see who they highlight because, they're always going to go after like a guy who was like undrafted that, people are going to get hyped about on fantasy football because, oh, what if he makes a team? So I think it's going to be fun and interesting. And last year was the Buffalo Bills, and even my wife watched a little bit because she found it interesting. So it's going to be even more fun to see the team that I root for. So, Sean, what do you think?
I'll say this. I have never seen one episode of any Hard Knocks ever. So I'll start with that. What I will say is for people who like your wife and my wife and things like that is all these shows are just like real life reality TV drama just set with the sports settings. Like I watched me and our dad watched Drive to Survive and got us into F1 racing because all it was drama people from different countries and boys fighting. Like that's all. It's just a reality show, and then you're like,
Boys
oh, they happen
fight.
to race. They happen to race, and that's what got us into it because of the behind the scenes, the fighting, and like teams on the same drivers and all that type. And that's all Hard Knocks is too. It's just like it's just drama for football, and people don't understand how much drama is in football. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's the Seahawks, and I want to see it, but I John Schneider's not happy about it clearly. So because you want to keep it tight, I think I will say this: I think it's going to be boring. I will love every second of it because I'm a Seahawks fan, but like the Seahawks, like if this was the LOB Seahawks, this would have been the greatest season of Hard Knocks of all time. If this had been Russell, Marshawn, LOB, all the personalities, that would have been the greatest TV ever. This team is boring in a way that I love. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, is JSN out there doing anything? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is he doing Sam Darnold? Is he like going crazy or doing anything like ridiculous? Who's going to be the ridiculous person on this team? I don't think we have one. Like,
It'll be
Uh,
Ernest Jones.
It could be Ernest Jones, could be
but like,
Spoon, could be Leo. Like
but like
there's some
even then,
interesting dudes
you've
on the
seen them
team.
behind the scenes where all it is like Mike McDonald comes over and he's like, "How many sacks did you give those? I don't care. I just want to win." And like that's like the Patriot way and that old saying, but it's just like it doesn't like sell headlines. And, it's not like hyped and like say some crazy or whatever it is, or it's just like I think what the most important thing is going to be is how awkward Mike McDonald is in an amazing way because that's what I love about Mike McDonald, how he doesn't like to talk, and then he ends up saying like banger quotes like "we did not care" because he didn't know what else to say. That's what's going to be the best part of this is like him trying to avoid the cameras and then him being loved because he's trying to avoid the cameras and come off authentically like I don't want to talk to people, and that's what's going to happen because like this team does not like seek out the cameras and things like that, which I love about them. So I'm like, they're going to be forced in the cameras, and then I think it's going to shine a light onto how much I love awkward Mike McDonald. I think that'll be the entire show.
I'm not sure if any team really likes having them in there. They just it's
Oh,
kind of like
like
it's just a cycle that they go through all the teams
Diggs,
basically. But
like a Diggs player or an AJ Brown, the Eagles, like, these kind of things that like drive hype or like controversy or do things. I don't can't name one Seahawk that would like Leonard Williams just had a kid. Maybe like Ernest Jones says things, but it's all in like support of his teammates. You know what I mean? It's not like it's like crazy or like, well, I got something to do. It's just like he's like, don't talk about my quarterback like that. But that's all he's like doing. He's not doing anything or saying anything like out of the realm. He just use a swear word one time, but like that was it. Like drama wise, like don't talk about Sam Darnold, and then like that was it. So I just think it's gonna be like that, and then it's going to be a lot of Mike McDonald being awkward in front of the camera, and I'm gonna love him for it because he doesn't like cameras clearly. So and he's real about it. Like, and it's gonna be the Seahawks team is really authentic, so I think teams will like that. But I don't think you're gonna get into crazy guys or anything like that. Maybe okay, correction, Zabel might be the guy if he talking about drink smashing
AJ
some Bud
Barner,
Light.
did you see that dude during the
He
Super
might be. I
Bowl
mean, they
like
could
and
drink, but
afterwards?
like I think Zabel's going to be the guy that maybe some people fall in love with just because he's some dude who loves slamming beers. He's like bad time to be a beer after they won the Super Bowl is what he tweeted. So maybe that's the guy who everyone goes after because I think maybe that's the one guy. But I just don't think they have a lot of crazy dudes. Which again, man, if this had been the LOB 2013 Seahawks, that would have been the greatest 10 episodes of TV history of any genre. Could you imagine prime LOB and Marshawn? Like a real Rob Report, but just like HBO. Pete Carroll, like just runner, like that would have been like just bonkers TV. Just bonkers TV.
I think it's gonna be a bit more entertaining than you think, and that's what HBO does best. Kevin, what do you think?
I've never really, like Sean, I've never seen Hard Knocks. Another person
Wow.
that comes to mind
I've seen
that,
clips, probably enough clips to
yeah,
formulate an episode, but yeah.
another person that comes to mind that could be interesting would be AJ Barner, just because he's got a little rowdy side to him too, and he's got that kind of,
I think the ladies will like the AJ Barner
yeah, that too.
conversations.
Yeah,
He's a handsome fellow.
yeah. So, they just show pictures of just AJ Barner and Julian Love the entire time,
Yeah,
the two hottest
yeah.
Seahawks on the team, and they're just like,
The
yeah.
yeah, probably the two hottest Seahawks. Yeah, for sure.
Um, So yeah, like I said, I'll watch it just to like see the background of it, but like
How could you
there's
not
I
being the
don't think there's
Seahawks?
going to be anything crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe,
All right.
maybe in order to build hype, they bring back all those like Sherm
You know
shows
who's going
up.
to be the personality? Michael Dixon.
I mean, he's tatted up Australian punter. Say less,
Yeah, yeah.
With him being a photographer, I imagine Marshawn will make a cameo.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say
Marshawn will
Marshawn
absolutely
will
be in it
be in an
somehow.
episode. He will be in
Absolutely.
an episode. He knows
Yeah.
what he's doing. He knows how to market
You
himself.
Sean
Marshawn ain't
mentioned
no
the LOB.
dummy.
You might get some of the LOB. You might get all the LOB in it. You might have a
You'll
little bit of an
probably find an
LOB
episode
segment.
with Cam and Sherm for
Yeah,
sure. Those two will probably make an
yeah.
appearance.
I would be shocked if at least Sherm doesn't show up. Maybe Cam and Earl, but
But
less
odds
likely.
are, what are those dating sites, Koshi or whatever? I put money right now on that if I was
Kalshi?
doing it. If I would be Marshawn is making a Hard Knocks episode, at least one. I would slam that bet right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right. Well, let us know what you think of those Seahawks stories. Go ahead and blue sky at us. I'm at Master V. Sean's Nasty Billy 22. Kevin is Emerald Bowler on X. Sean is Nasty Billy 22. Kevin is C2 Believe SEA2 Believe. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Tell us what you think in the comments below. Let us move on to the Seattle Mariners, who, if you go on the internet, the sky has fallen. Chicken Little's over. We're done. We're cooked. Right now they are 4-8. They have lost four in a row. Two to the Angels before the last two in Texas. They lost 3-2 tonight. They wrap up the series in Texas at 11:30 tomorrow. We're recording this on April 7th. Kevin, what have you thought of the Mariners so far this season?
Yeah, it's not good. Um, uh, we've kind of talked about it before on previous seasons, and I'm gonna kind of reiterate it. I really don't like the notion because I've been listening to like a couple of podcasts and like radio shows where everybody's like the internet has got a little bit I think it's a little bit in between. Like a lot of the professional stuff are like, oh, it's okay, it's so early. They're gonna get it together and stuff along that line. And then the internet's like the world is doomed. It's a mixture of both. They will get it together. The bats will heat up. Um, but at the same time too, you cannot lose series to the Angels or the Rangers, period. Like you're too good. Like you got to knock that crap off. Like, I don't care what. That's the thing. Like, if you every game counts. Like, this whole notion that like a lot of the generic sports media, and this is why I kind of wonder why they held jobs because it's dumb. Where they're just like they do the same thing in the NFL. Like, if a team, like a good team, starts off like 1-3 and stuff along that line, they're like, it's okay, they can come back and still win. And I'm like, yeah, but you then have to do more. You have to work harder and do more to come back to actually be in a spot. Like right now, they have to essentially win five in a row just to get above 500. Like that's not good. You don't want to put yourself in a position. It's the whole. It's essentially media adopting kind of the Pete Carroll mentality of like you can always win in the fourth quarter. Like stop it. You can win in every quarter. Like you need to start like right now. I think what the Yankees are like 7-2. Like right now, like
I don't know
beat the
officially, but yeah, something like that. Yeah,
yeah, they won today. I'm pretty sure.
yeah. There's
So,
some. They've won a bunch of
yeah,
games. I know they had only
yeah.
lost like one
Be
a
the
couple days ago.
Yankees.
Yeah,
Like be ahead of the curve. Like you essentially, and I agree with the most part. Like you're like top two, top three team in the AL. Act like it. Like stop this like, oh well, Julio always comes off to a slow start. No, that's unacceptable, Julio. Sorry, you're a grown man. You're in your third, fourth season now, and you can't figure it out at the beginning. Sorry, like you're getting paid money. You need to figure it out, or like stuff like needs to happen. Like it's you just got to find a way to put the fear of God into them somehow. Like it's Cal, I think will get there. Like with Cal having the season that he had last season, I had a feeling like just the pressure and stuff along that line. His home run that got robbed too, I think started it, and then he hit a home run the day after. So I think Cal's gonna be fine. But like, and then Naylor hit a good one today, or no, not Naylor. Naylor needs to figure it out. Starting off 0-19 is just unacceptable. Um, Brandon Donovan's been really nice, and Cole Young. Those have been like two eye-opening, and Luke Rayleigh too, also. But
but the boys that you expect to go off, like it just needs you have better batting power than what is expected on pitch. Like just you got to figure it out. Your pitching, your starting pitching has been unbelievable. Like has been really good, and that's with Bryce Miller being out and Hancock just being really good and like getting his stuff together, and Luis Castillo finally getting his stuff back. Like you cannot when your starting pitching is pitching this good and your bullpen has been solid enough and at times good too, like you need to win those games. You can't have these like 2-1s, 3-2s, any of that bull crap. You need to put 4 runs on this team is capable of putting 4 more runs on the board, and anything less is on freaking acceptable unless you're going against like screwball. Like if you're going against like an elite pitcher, which they have not faced yet, that I can remember. Uh, do they face? Do they play Colt or what's his face against the Yankees? The ace of the
No,
Yankees.
no,
Yeah,
he's not back yet. He's not playing. He's
yeah.
not pitching.
So like,
Well, I mean, they did play Freed, who is their de facto ace. So
yeah. So that's like the one maybe exception. Like other than that, you need to be dropping 4 runs or more. It's just absolutely unacceptable. You're the big boy club now. Act like it. Like the only person that should be like having kind of struggles would be Cole Young, who's like new to the team, and he's literally like just teabagging like Julio and Cal. Like he's been phenomenally defensively. Like some of the plays that kid has done defensively has been insane, and then his bat's been solid too. It's just like the young kids figuring out, but like you grown ass veterans are like be like, oh, I'm cold. I'm gonna be like Kyle Seager and just start real slow. Like no, it's unacceptable. Like unacceptable. Like grow up, you're a big boy, you're getting paid like a big boy, you need to do it like a big boy, or else like you need to have like a clause to where like take some money away or something. Like you got to do your job. Period. Like I get like like as someone who bowls and stuff along that line, am I gonna bowl like 220 every night? No, shit, I bowled like crap last night, but then like Saturday I averaged like 220. But at the same time too, when you're pro at the top of your league and you get paid that like what you are, you need to figure it out. Now, offensively in the league is a lot of the stars going off? No, like the home run leaders right now are a dude off of Cleveland. I forgot his name, and then
Chase
what's the
Lauder,
other?
yeah,
And then Langoliers from freaking Athletics, the catcher.
yeah.
Like who expected that? Everybody would think it'd be Cal and Judge, even though Judge has 3, but like you need it's just unacceptable. Like this whole like, oh well, they've done it in the past. I don't give 10 rat shits about what you've done in past seasons. This team got better offensively. You need to act like it. It needs to be way more consistent. Like there's absolutely no excuse to go less than 4 runs with this type of offense unless you're going against an elite pitcher or a team that has elite bullpen. Figure it out. Because you're pitching, you're letting your pitching down. Your pitching has been lights out, and you're literally just giving them the middle finger with your weakness. Figure it out. I'll pass it off.
Sean?
Drake Baldwin is also tied with home runs right now.
Oh yeah.
I'll say this. I mostly agree with Kevin. Yeah, it's the wins in the regular season count in the beginning count as much as the end. Like they just do. The win losses count the same. Straight up. Um, and yeah, they will all figure it out. That's also correct.
Yeah.
The problem is like now I will disagree on one thing. Like, yeah, you don't want to lose to the Angels and the Rangers, but you'll lose a series to someone you're better than at some point in the series.
Right.
The problem's just going to be is like back to back, especially early in the season while your pitchers are pitching well, is really tough to swallow and pretty unacceptable to be honest. They also like were really ill prepared for the challenge system coming out, which I think was like an indictment of like the management and like the other people. Like, how did you not know how to use the challenges? Like they were so bad at them. Like not just like bad at like not getting them, just not using them. I'm like, Cal, there was a seat where there was like 2 runners on. It was like a 3-2 count or like a 2-2 count, and there was like a borderline call which ended up being a ball. But I'm like, challenge it, and he just walked off the thing. I'm like, you needed to challenge that call because it was like the 8th inning. Like you weren't going to get a better chance in the 9th inning to probably challenge it. You had 2 challenges, so I'm like, why are you saving your challenges? Say like, go like do something like. And they just were ill prepared to use challenges early in the season. I think that's an indictment on the coaching staff. But I I will say Julio's just gonna be a slow starter. He's just gonna be Kyle Seager, and like It, it, it's just what it's some guys start better and some guys just don't, and I
Then
don't know what it is, but
you
they just
need
do.
to take away money from them.
It,
Like,
it, it, if there was some magical fairy dust to get them to play better, they would do it. But like, it's just like it's been this way forever for a lot of people. Some guys are just notoriously hot or cold starters or finishers or whatever it is. A lot of it was saying like the Dominican players like the warmer weather. Once the weather heats up, they heat up. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it specifically is for Julio, but like I think it's the biggest issue is the Cal, Naylor, and Julio are all next to each other in a lineup, and they're all black holes right now. And that's what kills everything. Is like they're just next to each other, and none of them are doing nothing. My issue is like everyone's like, man, we didn't do enough in the offseason because there's people saying that, which I don't agree with. I agree with Kevin. The problem is going to be is like everyone's like, we didn't do enough in the offseason. I go, really? Because Donovan is playing really well. Cole Young is a beast. Like that dude is like amazing right now at second base. Like he's playing well. Canzone and Rayleigh are playing very well right now, like doing their thing. The guys who are in the lineup right now who are not playing well enough as of today, and I know JP Crawford's only been there for 3 games, but the OPS who's not good enough right now are those three and JP Crawford. It's the four guys you thought were the guys for sure that were gonna be good. Those are the guys letting you down, not the guys you brought in the offseason or the question marks you had. Those guys are playing well. It's the four guys you thought were the
it's your
studs.
stars. Your stars.
Exactly. They're all letting you down. Josh Naylor, that is pathetic. Cal is getting himself out at times too. Like there was a bat yesterday. I was like, he struck out on like 6 pitches, and it was like a 1 ball count, and he threw one strike the entire bat, and Cal got himself out. I'm like, Cal, like you're trying to do too much. Like Kevin's point, like he's trying to live up to last year, and I go, just be Cal Raleigh because it's good enough. But you're trying to do so much. Stop. Just take some pitches. They're scared of you. They're not throwing you strikes anymore. So just relax. So I agree. I see there's a minute left, but I'm just like, wins count the same right now as they do at the end of the year. So all this is doing is delaying or lowering the amount of wins. Like if you thought they were going to win 95 games at the start of the season, the number's getting less and less. That most likely that they'll only maybe win 92, 93 now because you're giving away wins early in the season. And yeah, last 3 years they started 4-7 as well. They made the playoffs, but we don't have to keep starting 4-7. We played well enough to not be 4-7. Kirby gave up one stupid little 2-run home run shot and then went 8 innings today. He was good enough to win, and we didn't win. Like ridiculous. We had a leadoff home run and scored 1 run the rest of the game. That was it.
All right. It's a short podcast. We will be back hopefully next week with a longer one to talk more about the Mariners. We'll talk about if the panic meter's gone up or down, some deals that have happened, and maybe a prospect report. But with that, we will see you next time on Washington East to West Sports. Bring back our Sonics. Might be real.